So I was like, well, I know I can play. Maybe I'm not the most athletic, right? I'm not the fastest. I look a little bit awkward when I run, but I know I can play. He's like, all we need is $400 a month from your parents. I was like, wait, what? I'm signing a pro contract. I'll give your son a chance. Just get him here. So I went, I scored 7 goals in 80 minutes in my tryout game, 2 40-minute halves. I scored 7 goals. Right foot, left foot, headers, everything was just going in. But I figured it out.
Yeah.
So nobody could tell me nothing. I like to say I have a great relationship with failure. Me and failure are homies. We're best friends. You're not going to get to the other side alone. You have to have your friend with you. So I'm not going to get to success without failure. So, but listen, it gets even better. It gets better. So I'm with my friend and he's like, dude, just throw a third C in there. And I was like, bro, that might be one of the dumbest things you've ever said. And he goes, nah. He goes, the third C stands for Christ. He can be in the middle of what you do.
Oh,
and I was like,
shoot.
I was like, yo.
Step into the world of FC Game Changer, the football club that will change your game. We want to help boost your mindset, strength, and nutrition. A potent trio capable of completely transforming both your football performance and your overall life.
The way we play it, the way we say it.
With a new expert every month, including strength coaches, nutritionists, football coaches, former and current footballers. We are dedicated to sharing knowledge and skills for the next generation of footballers, allowing you to become the best footballer you can be. Thanks for joining us today. Now, let the game begin.
SocccerDave, welcome to the show.
What's happening, man? I appreciate you having me. And yeah, super excited for our conversation.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. You're a massive creator, almost, 200,000 followers on Instagram. So this is massive. And you're going to get there super fast, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I want to hear everything about you, your story, your soccer career, and now, creator as well. So, but before we get into that, tell us your story. Who is SocccerDave?
Yeah, man. So, SocccerDave, he's born in Dallas, but raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The reason for that is my parents became missionaries with the evangelical church. And so from a very early age, I saw and I was taught what it means to really follow Christ at a faith level that says, you know what, we're going to pack up our whole family, all our things, and move to a different country. And so, that pretty much sets the precedence for my entire life. Obviously, life ebbs and flows and nothing's a kind of a straight road. But I think being grounded in that understanding of who God is and who I am in him, I think sets the precedence for how I live my life. But fast forward, obviously in Buenos Aires is where I gained my love and passion for the game and realized what a huge, tremendous tool that it is. It brings people together. Either for a lot of joy or a lot of hate. Let's be honest.
Yep.
But either way, it's a tool that people understand and use. And so, I grew up a Boca Juniors fan. So between Boca and River, I got to go with Boca.
La Bombonera.
La Bombonera, dude. I've seen games in La Bombonera, and I saw Riquelme score in La Bombonera, Palermo score in La Bombonera. I saw quarterfinals of La Copa America against Cúcuta.
That's crazy.
And that's the year that we beat, I believe, Palmeiras in the final. So, yeah, when Riquelme came back from being over in Europe. So, unbelievable experiences. I knew at a young age that I probably wanted to be a professional soccer player. And as I got older, I believed that I was seeing characteristics in myself that I had what it takes, talent-wise, technical-wise, the mentality. the passion. I think I would always try to find little separators between me and other players. So y'all want to go on 2-mile runs, I'm gonna go on 3-mile runs. If y'all want to run 10 sprints, I'm gonna do 12 sprints. And it was just like, how can I continue to separate myself? Y'all want to wake up at 6, I'm gonna wake up 5:30. Just little things like that. And that over time really start to create a bigger gap. And again, I didn't make it big, right? But I did make it pro. And so whether it was second division, third division, Europe, whatever, lower leagues, I can say that I didn't get rich off of football, but I had amazing experiences because of football.
That's what matters.
And so I think that's how I usually go about explaining it. So, but anyway, throughout my career, I come back to the United States, live in Dallas for high school. So I go to high school at Mesquite Poteet all 4 years. My 4th year, senior year, go to the state finals, which is like, best game you can play at the high school level. We lost in the finals. I like to say I have a really nice heavy silver medal to prove that I was the last loser that year. And so I have that. Then this is what's crazy. I got no college offers, none, zero college offers. So I was like, well, I know I can play. Maybe I'm not the most athletic, right? I'm not the fastest. I look a little bit awkward when I run, but I know I can play. I was going to Argentina in the summers, training with first division academies like Racing, like Gimnasia. And I was like, man, if they like me there, surely I can play, whether they like me here in the US or not. So I was like, well, I'm going to just go back to Argentina. So I went back to Argentina. I got incorporated with Gimnasia de la Plata on their U19s. I made the squad, but it was right before the first small COVID, the swine flu of 2009. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So the whole country shut down right at the transfer window. And then AFA, the Federation of Argentina, they didn't reopen the transfer window or extend it. So millions of players got left without clubs, without being able to sign, because we couldn't go sign because the country was shut down.
Right.
And then when the country reopened, the transfer window was closed. So that's one of many, many things that I lived through in terms of like adversity and challenges.
Yeah.
But trying to figure out how to push through that. So Gimnasia was really nice. Let me stay on, me and another player that they were planning on signing. We trained with them for 6 months. So we were at trainings with their teams, not with other people trying out. We were like on the team.
On the team.
We just didn't have our document to be able to play.
I
through
see.
AFA.
Like a training player kind of thing at that point.
Yeah. Basically like a training player or a guy on the roster that never gets called up to play on Sundays, right? Basically kind of deal. And so, but I learned a lot. Those 5 months of being there. And then moving from U19, you go from U19 to U21. So they bring together 3 age groups. So a lot of players get cut because you already have 2 age groups up here. So only like a third of the roster moves up. Well, I wasn't signed to begin with. So I got left without a club along with like 11 other players. So then it was like, all right, what do we do? So I went, tried out Quilmes, second division at the time. And then this story is crazy. I don't share this story a lot. So
good. Tell us.
Share it right here with FC Game Changer, because I think it's an experience a lot of people need to understand, that things like this happen. It shouldn't happen, but it happens. So again, I grew up in Buenos Aires and I have a little bit of complexion. I got the curls. So when I speak Spanish, I'm an Argentine, right? Nobody knows I'm American. So I make the team. I make the U21 roster as a 19-year-old. So we're getting paperwork done. And I show my American passport. You're American? Yeah, I'm American. You're not Argentine? No, I'm not Argentine. I'm American.
No.
Well, what about your parents? My parents are American. So you're not Argentine? No, I'm not. I'm American. Where's your family? They're back in Texas, in America. Okay, we'll call you back. So, because I was at the fax place to fax everything over and everything. Faxing, bro. That's
Yeah.
old terminology.
Some of the
Before
listeners,
PDFs online, there was faxing.
just so everyone that's listening and watching,
This is how old I am, guys. So,
look it up.
So-
What is fax? Yeah.
so so they called me back like 10 minutes later. My agent calls me. He goes, "All right, I worked out a great deal for you." He goes, you're going to be on the roster every Sunday. Certain games you're going to have to start, and you will come off the bench like every week. I'm like, oh my gosh, heck yeah. He's like, all we need is $400 a month from your parents. I was like, wait, what? I'm signing a pro contract. I have to pay $400 a month. My parents got to pay $400. What is this? It's extortion. They were like, well, it's okay. It's okay. They're in America. I was like, bro, we don't have it like that, dog. Like,
That's
we don't have money like
crazy.
that. And so what was amazing, and this is a huge testament to my parents and my dad, I called home and I was like, this is ridiculous, yada, yada, yada. And my dad was like, look, son, we believe that you have what it takes in the long run. I think between your mom and I, we can figure out how to come up with that money. And I was like, no, y'all are gonna like, I don't even want to think like now I'm a father, you know, and money's tight at times and stuff. And like, first of all, $400 a month's no joke for it to be like an extra, just like that you just send to somebody else.
Yeah, no.
And like, but I'm like, you know what? I'd figure it out for my daughter too. And as difficult as it would, but I told my dad, I was like, no, I'm not doing this to you guys. Like, I appreciate it, but no. And so that was the end of like that, like season, that chapter in that book. And so I came home and that, but dude, like, let's be honest, dude, you're from Brazil. Things like that happen all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And but that was like my first like huge experience with it, which was absolutely gut wrenching.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I came back. I did one semester at Mississippi College where I was an All-American as a freshman, 19-year-old.
That's huge.
And then I went to Bolivia. So the Bolivia contact was through a friend of my dad's from Argentina who was then coaching in Bolivia at the time. And he was like, look, I'll give your son a chance. Just get him here. So I went, I scored 7 goals in 80 minutes in my tryout game, 2 40-minute halves. I scored 7 goals.
That's crazy.
Which was crazy. Right foot, left foot, headers, everything was just going in. And so I get signed on the spot. Second division Bolivia, super low money, barely enough to live on. My dad's friend helped me out while I was there. And so, yeah, I got to play 2 seasons in Bolivia. So I was there till I was 21 and then came back. There was a change in coach. So another story, right? Things that happen when you're
adversities. You just going, yeah.
Dude, crazy. So change of coach, change of staff. He brings in his own assistant and brings in his players.
Oh,
right?
It wasn't just the coaching staff that he brought with him.
He brought players, and that's how it works, though, right? Like you're gonna trust your guys, and because there's always money tied in, right? Like I'll bring you in, but I own 30% of your pass. Right. So a lot of Americans don't even understand what a player pass is and how it can get diluted. 30% is owned by this coach, 20% is owned by this club, 10% is owned by your mom or your dad, right? Who worked out a deal when he first got signed.
Yeah.
And then, right, like there's so many things that happen in the FIFA market that Americans are just, we don't understand because we don't grow up around it or live it. So they own 50% of my player pass, but I went from starting or coming off the bench to not even being on the 18 roster. After 3 weeks of that, I got fed up and I went to the owner of the club, like barged into his office. Dog, I'm like a 21-year-old kid and like just being dumb. And I was like, dude, this coach has got to go. Like, y'all know what I bring to the table. You know my value and worth after a whole season here. Like, you know, I'm not going to sit here not even on the bench. I'm not going to sit here in the stands and have to make up stories that I'm hurt and injured because I'm not on the roster. So Christmas is coming up. I'm going back home for Christmas. I'm not coming back if he's still the coach. And they were like, well, that's kind of your decision.
Oh,
This and
wow.
that. We still own 50% of your player pass. So if we don't sell it or until your contract's over with us, you can't play anywhere else. And in my head, I'm thinking, the U.S. doesn't know anything about player pass. Like, I'll be fine. I'll pick up something in the USL or whatever and then figure it out later. And that was a mistake. But I came back and I couldn't find anything.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like, all right, I guess I'll go back to school. So I went back to school for, 3 years, got my college education, became another All-American at Dallas Baptist University, which that was crazy because I shouldn't have been able to play college ball
True.
because I was a
True.
pro. I lost my amateur status.
Yeah.
But we talked to the NCAA. I was like, look, I'm just a 21-year-old kid trying to get an education and play while I do. And they ended up giving me 3 years, that's a crazy God thing.
Yeah.
So God was in the middle of that also. So I got my education, met my wife. We started
school?
dating when I was there, my senior year. And so things started kind of not turning in the direction of like life outside of soccer. But anytime you get married and now there's two people and then you had a kid, which came shortly after our oldest daughter, Ellie, it was like, you can't be broke anymore, right? Like I can't be broke playing in third division, making nothing and having to support a family.
Yeah. No.
So then it was like, all right, well, if I do that, can I get a job that between the two, I can still be successful playing so that I can try to climb up, but still make sure my daughter eats and all this stuff. And it's just hard. I still did it for a couple of years. We ended up going to Spain. I played one season. It's a fourth division over there because I always wanted to play in Europe. And I was like, honey, listen, we're going to kind of do this and just see how it goes, but I have to do it at least once. So I ended up going over there. I got a call from an old coach, went over there and tried out, made it, had to come back, had to do the whole player pass thing, work that out with the U.S. Soccer Federation, send over my player pass from Bolivia, which had been there for 6-7 years. And then once I got it, then I sent it to the U.S. Federation, who had to send it to the Spanish Federation. There's all this stuff that people don't understand, like has to happen, once you're actually like signed somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times I ask when people are like, yeah, did you like just kind of go and was a part of something that did scrimmages, or like, were you rostered player in the federation?
Right.
Because that's totally different. So, but yeah, got it all figured out, went there. When we came back, my wife was like, hey, look, I followed you across the world. Can you just take me back home to Houston? And I was like, all right.
Fair.
So that kind of ended like, I'm not playing anymore. I'm done. I'm a fan, like I'm back. I'm in Houston. I don't know anybody. Nobody. I've never been there, never lived there. She's from there. So I had to get new contacts, get a job, started working as a mover. I was moving furniture and stuff. And then I got back into soccer, got into teaching. So that's where a lot of my content started, when I was teaching and kind of that series there. But crazy journey, dude. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Houston 4 years. January 1, 2024, moved to Dallas, and I've been here for now a year and 4 months. Just absolutely loving life. Full-time soccer trainer, full-time influencer, full-time dad, full-time husband, full-time follower of wherever God leads. Yeah, man, it's a lot. I'll let you ask detailed questions. I just want to give like
no. This is good though, because I mean, there's so much to unpack in everything that you said, and I think there's a lot of people that will relate to everything that you said, especially like in the beginning when you started. So when you moved to Buenos Aires, how old were you?
I was 6.
Yeah,
5 or 6 years old.
So yeah, so you're, like you grew up there basically.
Mm-hmm.
But you did say though that you always knew, you always had that figured out in terms of, I know I'm capable of doing this, which is, soccer, football.
And I want to touch on that. I always knew I was capable because I knew I was willing to do certain things others wouldn't.
Okay.
So it's not like right, like that's, we can actually get into this discussion.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm asking that is because I was gonna ask you, where did that come from? You know, because you were such an early young age that you already knew. So does that come from parents? You know, like, is that just you who you are? Like, how did you figure that out?
I honestly don't know, but sometimes you realize you're different, just like not just by what you perform on the field or anything, but like how your mind works sometimes. Like you can just tell something's different about you. Like everybody else is like, oh, come on. And you're like, no, another one. Or for example, the whole Joga Bonito movement came out when I was like 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
YouTube came out when I was like 10. So that's when the whole movement started. And I would see Ronaldinho do something crazy. And I wouldn't just want to do what he did. I would want to see how I could remix it so that it's different, so that I could call it my own.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of 9-10-year-old
exactly
takes what his hero does and already wants to make it better or different or his own?
So just to keep going on that thought process though, like for kids, like, do you have anything that you can tell them for them to at least, I don't know, click or be like, hey, everyone is unique. You just have to find it within you.
First thing I would say is you find yourself when you figure things out for yourself. Right? Like if I'm always with somebody else, I'm taking pieces of that other person.
I see.
So am I really finding myself, or am I finding them in me? You know what I mean? We live in a day and age where being bored is bad, where you don't want to be bored, where I'm constantly looking at somebody else on a screen or with somebody else. Kids aren't alone anymore. There's reasons for that, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they should be alone all the time. I'm not going to say that. But I think it's tough for kids to figure out how and why they're unique when they never have to figure out how and why they're unique.
I see what you say.
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Got
They're
it.
at home. Mom or dad are always at home with them. And I'm talking for I'm talking for the types of kids that maybe I'm around a little bit more, the ones maybe with the means to pay for a trainer and stuff like that, right? Like that's the ones that have the means to pay for club ball. So we're talking to that demographic. Always with mom or dad at home, always with a teacher at school, always with a coach at club, always with a trainer while they're training. There's always an adult.
They don't have time to figure themselves out by themselves, to think for themselves.
I want to learn how to do the around the world. Mom, can you schedule a session with Dave so I can figure it out? So then they schedule it with me. Hey, I've literally done this before. Can you show me how to do the around the world? Well, let me see how you think it's done. They try it. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it. Well, but I didn't do it. Yeah, I know, but that is how you do it.
That's how you do it.
But I didn't do it. Show me how to do it.
They want the fast, quick, right away.
It's like, you figure it out.
There's nothing I can do, right? Yeah.
Right. I can sit there, get down on my knees, pick your foot up, show you exactly where to create the cut. But then where are you finding yourself?
Yes. No. This is great.
You're unique. Right. And so I think the privilege and the blessing that I had and my generation had is we were okay with being alone and figuring stuff out on our own.
Yeah. We entertained ourselves easily. Like with the soccer ball. We didn't need we didn't need anything else. If we had the ball, we're fine.
So I would, for example, my dad tells the stories the best, but he would see me, I'd get home from school, I'd get the ball, go to the backyard. Then I'd go to the computer, hey, Dad, can I get on YouTube and watch this new video, whatever. So I'd watch the newest Joga Bonito video that would come out. They'd release new ones like every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It was during that whole movement. So I would see Ronaldinho, Robinho, all these guys do the crazy tricks, right? And I'd be like, all right, I want to learn how to do that one. So I'd watch it. I'd go outside and try it. Obviously, I wouldn't get it. So I'd come back in. Am I not getting it because I need to practice it more? Or am I not getting it because I'm doing something wrong? So I'd go back in, before you couldn't even record in slow-mo back then. So before slow-mo even existed, I had the mouse, play, pause, play, pause, play, pause, play, pause.
Yeah.
I'm over here like
Yeah.
trying to see it in slow motion so that I could figure out exactly how to do it. So get my timing right, my movement right, all these things, the spacing of the ball between my feet, the spin of the ball if it needed to spin, what time I was, whatever. But I figured it out.
Yeah.
So nobody could tell me nothing. Right. So now that's breeding a whole new level of identity and confidence.
Yeah.
That we don't see a lot of kids have nowadays. And so, and then the other thing is, I like to say, I have a great relationship with failure. Me and failure are homies. We're best friends.
They need to listen to this,
Yeah, you want to spend time with your best friend. You understand that you're not going to get to the other side alone. You have to have your friend with you. So I'm not going to get to success without failure. So I have a great relationship. If there's a success I want to get to, I know I have to go with my friend failure. And we're going to go together.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be that way. You hardly ever will get it first time you try. And that's with anything in life as well. Anything in life.
So I had a conversation with these kids that I was training last week. And I explained to them, they were older, so I was explaining to them like what dopamine is and that rush to the brain when anytime you encounter something that you want more of. And they were failing at what we were working on. They had to get a certain thing in a certain time and this and that. It was like a really hard drill. But I was like, started getting frustrated. And I was like, dude, listen, I don't care how frustrated you get as long as you keep working towards the success, because the more frustrated you are, when you get that success, you're going to get a crazy rush of dopamine to your brain that will associate that dopamine rush with all the failure. They'll start to go hand in hand because your brain it can't disassociate certain things. Like when you get it, right? And so that's why addictions are so hard and all addictions are associated with a feeling.
Yeah.
So it's a feeling that then creates the action. So if you can associate the feeling of frustration to also go along hand in hand with the feeling of the dopamine rush for success, all of a sudden, failure is a part of it. It's not a distant thing that you're supposed to get one without the other. That doesn't exist. And so I was explaining that to these guys. And so then we kept going. When we finally got it, they were like crazy, like finally, like this and that. But now training them moving forward will be a lot easier to give them difficult things to train on, because now they've experienced at least that one time dopamine rush of, I want that. You know what I mean? And so now failure just becomes a part of training, a part of reality in order to get to that success. So it's just like, like no problem, just failed. Who cares? Whatever. I don't care. Next one.
This is like a lot. Like we need people like you to spread that message. We need more of that, because you're totally right. It's that I want this now, and if I can't get that right now, I'm gonna then give up, or I'm not good enough. You're not good enough right now, right? But if you keep on going, keep on training, keep on trying, like you get it.
I love that you said that. So I tell players all the time, I say, hey, repeat after me. I'm not good at this. And they look at me like, what? And I'm like, just repeat after me. I'm not good at this. And they say, I'm not good at this. And then I say, yet.
Exactly. Yet.
And then they go, yet. And I was like, yeah, but you're going to keep working at it, right? Like, oh, yeah. Like, it's okay not to be good, bro.
Like, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's just not okay to stop trying to be good.
Exactly. That is the key right there. That is the key. And that's, again, going back to what we just said. It's with anything in life. Relationships, life in general. Now with, your kid, my kid.
Starting a podcast, bro. Starting a social media page.
100%.
Like, dude.
100%. 100%. It's this needs, it's great. I'm having such a great time right now. And I hope, everyone watching, listening, this is like literally game-changing information that kids need to hear. Yeah.
No, for sure, man. So yeah, it's a great conversation to have. And then, we can kind of, I don't know if you had another question, but we can
No, I was just
go
gonna.
into now.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking about kind of going. We can kind of go away from that, but you mentioned that in the beginning of when we just started that you always wanted to go one extra, two extra.
Yeah.
People did 10 miles, you did 12. People juggled for 20 minutes, you did an hour. Like that's what I want people to hear as well. Like, where does that come from, and how can we help these all the kids listening and watching? It goes back to you said as well in the beginning. It's up here. It's the mindset.
So there was I'll give you an exact example, another example of where that mindset kind of came out. So there was I think I was older, maybe 16, 17, kind of at that age where I was realizing that I ran a little bit weird. You know, I have fixed a lot of those things. Like now I look athletic. I move athletically. Still sometimes where you're like, oh, he's running kind of like wobbly, but certain things like that, right? So there was a time where I was highly rated at the high school level, still not even at the club level or like to get recruited. But I always heard, oh, he's this, but you know, he's this. Oh, he can hold the ball. He can't really get the ball, but you know, he holds on it too long. Or but this, or he can run for days, but he's not that fast. Or you know, whatever. And I just decided, I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being a butt player. I don't want to be a butt player. I want to be somebody that instead of but it's ands. He does this and he can do this, you know? And so I just wanted, like, if anybody was ever like, well, but can you do this? Yes. Well, but what about that? Yes. Well, but what about with your left foot? Yes. Well, what about, you know, yada, yada, yada? Yes. Well, what about defend? Yes. Well, what about IQ? Yes. Well, what about, yeah, the answer is yes, bro. Listen, I can do it because I worked my butt off for it. And because I knew at some point somebody would try to find some type of flaw or some type of reason or this and that. And I made sure to cover all my grounds, bro. You're not really gonna catch me slipping, you know? Does that mean I'm perfect? No. Does that mean I don't make mistakes? No. It just means that I know who I am. I know the work I put in, and I know that on a good day, I'm freaking good. I can still have a bad day, right? But even on my bad day, you're gonna rate me pretty high because I may fall short on this, but I'm gonna make sure you know this. And so so that's a prime example of like the mentality. Like I didn't want to, you know, oh, he's this, but can you do? Yes, I can. You know, like with anything, bro.
Yeah.
With anything. Like that's why I can freestyle a little bit. You know, and I say a little bit because I'm not a freestyler. I can't freaking do a handstand and do like all that crazy stuff.
That's
right?
another level, yeah.
But any soccer player, oh, but can you do it around the world? Yeah. Oh, but can you do 3 in a row? Yes. Oh, but can you do the whatever? Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or even if you can't right now, you know what to do. You're going to work to be able to do it at some point. No, it's, yeah.
And so it was becoming, right. It wasn't overnight, right? It probably took 2, 3, it's still going on, right? Like the mindset is still the same. If I encounter something that I'm not that good at or can't, like recently, I've been hanging out a lot with Lupe. Lupe is my boy, right? I'm Lupe, 300,000 on Instagram. Like that's my boy. And he is known for half volleys. That dude can ping a half volley, like a grass cutter, beautifully perfect. I cannot. Why? Because I don't work on them.
Yeah.
I never worked on them.
Yeah.
Like that's also like you have to understand. It's not just like, oh, I'm bad at that. Well, hold on. Do you work on it?
Yet.
Well, no.
Like you said, yet.
Well, then that's why you're not good at it. You don't work on it. Like at any given moment, whether you're 7 years old, 15 years old, 33, almost 34, you can decide I'm going to work on this. Well, guess what's going to happen when you start working on it? You're going to get better at it, bro. Like, so recently I've started working on my half volleys a little bit more for no reason other than I don't want that to be a butt.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to also now, for whatever reason now at 33 years old, I've decided, you know what? I should probably be good at these. Maybe it's competitive nature. I don't even want one of my really good friends to have anything one upped on me, right? Like, we're really good friends. Lupe, shout out, bro. I still, like, as homies as we are, I don't want you to be better at me at anything.
I'll
You know,
reach out
like,
to him and see if we can do a podcast with him, and we
I
can
got
go
you.
at it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get him on, and then there's some other people I'm going to refer to you that you can have on as well.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
yeah, man. Like,
No,
so competitiveness for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, competitiveness is another huge thing. I don't like when people are better than me. It like irritates me.
No, this is so. It's funny though, because like everything that you're saying now, I'm thinking, you know, like a lot of people that have, you know, ideas, or a lot of people that have dreams. Having ideas, having dreams, that's the easiest thing ever, right? Right now, we can sit down in 5 minutes. We can have, you know, 100 different ideas, 100 different dreams. But it goes back to what you said. If there is no execution behind the ideas or behind the dreams, it's a waste of time.
Yep.
You're just a lunatic, right? You're just thinking. You just, I can do this. I should do that. Or I dream to be this. I dream to be that. You just sit on the couch watching videos and motivational stuff, and you read the books, but there's no execution behind anything. Yeah.
You learn from doing.
Yeah.
You learn from doing. So the execution doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start.
Yeah.
So.
No, this is amazing. This is great stuff. And, you know, a lot of people get so much value from just, you know, we've been going on for about half hour, and there's so much in here that I really hope everyone is getting so much value out of this. So so soccer, like, how did that shape you, you know, in terms of, because Argentina, right? I mean, right now they're the number one players in the entire world, right? They're the one team to beat right now. How did that culture kind of shape you as a person, but also as a soccer player? And then as you get back to the United States, what was the major differences that you realized that you've gained down in Argentina? Now you're here. Like, what were like the differences?
Yeah, I think I'd probably have to say the passion. So I say, a lot of times I say 3 things can really, really drive a person to do something or become something. Number 1 is faith. I think whether you put your faith in God or not, it doesn't have to necessarily be that, right? But faith that you can be something, achieve something. Hope. We can just call it hope if you don't want to go like the religious route, whatever. So faith or hope. Love. I think you have to love it, and you have to understand what love means. Love is sacrifice, right? And again, that can be tied into however religious you want to get into it, or faith-based. And then the third one is passion. So faith, love, and passion. If you have those 3 things for any particular thing, industry, person, that you know, so I got those 3 things for my wife, right? Got those 3 things for soccer, now for social media, for training kids. I think those 3 things really begin to shape your next steps, your executions, right? Like you were talking about, like, what are you going to do? Because you're not going to, if you have those 3 things, you're not going to sit around and do nothing, right? I think if you have 2 of them and not the third, whichever way you want to go, you may fall short. But in having all 3, I think that's the tripod that sets you into motion. Because if you have love and passion, but you don't really have hope that anything can come out of it, you're probably not going to keep going, right? If you have the hope and the faith that something's going to come, you love it, but you lack a little bit of passion, adversity hits, you're probably going to fall short.
Yeah.
Right? If you have the faith and hope that you can do it, something's going to come out of it. You have the passion, and then but you don't have the love for it that requires all the sacrifice, right? Then the moment it's boring, or the moment you have to do something boring, right? You do a lot of podcast stuff that I'm sure you're like, oh, it's editing day, or it's whatever day, right? And you're like, I have a passion for the podcast, but not for the, this, or love for that. The love is what says, no, I'm going to push through when it's not, right? Like, I don't like my wife anymore. I love her. So the times where it gets difficult, the love that carries us through, right? So
Yeah.
you need that tribe. You need all three of these things. And I think that if we were to just say like the differences between Argentine soccer football culture, American soccer football culture, the Americans might have 2 out of 3. And it varies which 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how often they have all 3.
All three. Ah.
Like the Brazilian, I'm sure they have all 3. Bro.
All three. It's like it's religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that is probably the biggest macro difference, which then bleeds into the micro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if that.
No,
totally
no,
answered your question,
that's
but
well, no, it's totally like it's. I think the U.S. might be one of maybe the only country, like when it comes to soccer, that the culture, because in Brazil, like let's say I'm gonna talk about Brazil. Brazil, you only have soccer. You don't have anything else to play or to pursue. You do have other sports, right? But everyone is just, since you're born, mom, dad, or even the culture, they want you to become a soccer player. So it's ingrained here in the US, which I do love the system that you have accessibility to all of the sports, the infrastructures, the facilities. But then, I feel like kids or even fans, they have too many options to try.
Yeah.
And they never focus in one. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing, or maybe on the development side of things, that could be a good thing for the kids to try out different sports. But, I
think
don't know.
in the US, we fall in love with ideas, not necessarily realities. Right? Like the idea of being a pro is greater than the reality of doing it, because the reality of it, you're already experiencing it. You're already on the nice field. You're already in a nice uniform.
Exactly.
Right? Like you already have that reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whereas in Argentina, Brazil, other countries, you don't have the reality until it's real.
That's so true. That's well said.
So there is no like idea of it. No, there is the reality of now and the reality of what it can be.
Yeah.
So, but here, it's almost like the idea of it. Well, ideas are fickle. Ideas are, you have one idea today, you have another idea tomorrow. The other thing with ideas is most of the time, big arguments or disappointments happen when you had an idea and it didn't end up being what you thought. That's why playing the second division, third division, it's not appealing to the American, because the American's idea of a pro is, like you mentioned, all the other sports, the draft of the NFL, the draft of the NBA, right? Like, boom, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. And so you don't get that in soccer.
No.
It's very, very different, because it's even catered to the worldwide view of it, but we don't have a worldview of it.
Yeah.
We have an American idea for what's a world sport.
Yeah.
And they don't go together.
That's well said. That's well said.
So, you have a freaking $50 million high school stadium.
I was about to say
100 million high school stadium here in Allen, right down the street from where I live, where I work.
Yeah, you can only find that in Brazil, for example, or even Argentina or other countries too, at the professional level.
And here you have, you enter high school at sometimes 13 years old.
Yeah.
So you have a 13, 14-year-old playing in a stadium with nice grass or artificial grass that some 30-year-old pros in other countries still have not experienced.
Exactly. When you talked about the third division, the fourth division, some countries, even the second division, they haven't seen that yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, reality versus I think is another.
This is, that's well said. I've never thought about it that way, because, even to be fair, like middle schoolers, they have the infrastructure that some you can only find at the professional level, the
so
countries.
What are you trying to achieve by being a pro, really? The money? Well, what happens when you realize it's not there?
Yeah.
The status? What happens when you realize it's not there? because money and status are at the elite level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can still be a pro and not at that level.
Oh yeah, no,
I-
I have friends that they made MLS, they made USL, and they've been playing for a long time.
Yep.
Or even friends
They
that
don't have status. No one knows who they are.
no one knows who
They
they
don't
are.
have money because
No.
their paycheck is crap,
Yep,
right? So why?
exactly.
Well, now we start getting into how much faith, love, and passion do you have?
Yep. If you
Do
don't have
enough
that,
do you have enough to be a low-level player for 10 years? Or only for 1 year, 2 years, and then, oh, I can't keep doing this.
yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny because you're right. Like some of these friends that I have, like people probably know you a lot more than they know them. Because you've created this platform with thousands of people, right? The content that you produce, you distribute. It's stuff that people can relate to. I love it personally. I have friends sending me your videos. You know, I send your videos to other friends. So, and these players, they're playing at the professional level, and no one knows who they are. So it's you said it all. It's crazy.
But that doesn't happen overseas. Overseas, you know the pros.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, even second division, because you're playing in that town that everybody follows it.
Yeah.
Because again, culturally, there's that passion. So
Yeah. No, this is cool. So let's talk about. So right now, you're playing right now, correct?
yeah, I keep annoying my wife because I can't just hang the cleats up. man.
But tell me, it's a different league. Explain
So
how.
the indoor, okay, so the indoor league, I just got done playing my first year, my rookie season in the MASL, which is it's fully indoor with the walls. There's no out of bounds unless it goes over the walls, stuff like that. There's a bunch of different type of rules, how many times you can play back to the keeper, blue cards, yellow cards. I mean, it's totally different.
Mm,
And then even at because indoor is different at the amateur level, like playing indoor, renting out an indoor place or playing in an indoor league is different than even pro indoor. Pro indoor, now you have, first of all, the schedule is crazy. The traveling schedule, we're playing up in the Northeast, then coming back down here, then going to Mexico, then going back to Kansas, then, right. So like, it's a lot of travel. It's kind of built out like the NBA, like basketball, in terms of how many games back to back. You may have a back-to-back game in Mexico, 3 days off, and then have a back-to-back game in Baltimore.
that's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Then again, at the pro level, like the intensity of the game, the plays and formations, rotations of players. You may be on 30 seconds, a minute and a half tops, and then you're rotating out with your guy, whether you have a rotation of 2 or a rotation of 3 players, whether you're just the guy that plays defense, and when y'all recover the ball, you're off so that the other guy can play offense. Like it's such a unique sport, a unique way to play soccer, I guess I should say, that takes a lot of getting used to. There's some players that can adapt pretty well. Other players like myself, it was not easy to adapt. And so, yeah, so that was the MASL, Major Arena Soccer League here in the US that I just played 1 season. I don't know that I'll play another season. I signed a 3-year contract, but I don't know if I'm going to fulfill that out or not. It was hard on my family, the schedule. It was hard on my body.
Yeah.
It's very physical. Not all the turfs are nice. Sometimes you're playing on real AstroTurf from like the 1980s.
Yeah, the one with sand on, or
that's just laid out on top of concrete.
oh wow,
Right. So like, I mean, it's a crazy league because not all the teams have the same budget, right? Not all the teams have the same budget, and so everybody does what they can within their franchise of the league and stuff. But my respect goes out to every team in the league, every player in the league. There is a lot of talent,
I bet,
throughout the league, and there's talent that's been in the league there's guys that have been in this league for 15 years, and this is that's what they do. They don't play outdoor; they play indoor. and they've been doing it for 15 seasons, right?
Wow.
Like there's veterans in the league. There's newcomers in the league that are just balling out. Some do good outdoor and indoor. Some only do good indoor. Some outdoor players that don't transition well to indoor. I'll include myself in that. Even though I had a decent season through some injuries that I had, I don't think I acclimated very well. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty intense, pretty crazy.
Yeah, no,
So,
I've seen some videos. It's very interesting. I don't know if we have that in the West Coast. Maybe up in Washington. I don't even know if we have in Oregon. That's where I am, Eugene, Oregon.
Up top, I don't know. I do know California has 2 or 3 teams in the league.
I
San
see.
Diego Sockers, Empire Strikers, and maybe one more, maybe. But I don't think further north, I don't think there's one.
Yeah, yeah. So what's next for SocccerDave?
Man, the content side is kind of where I see.
Blowing up, huh?
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, everything that I've done. So background on the content. When I came back from Spain, I told you I was kind of done. Since then, I haven't been done. I've still played USL 2 or whatever, but and now, yeah, professional rookie indoor, whatever. But the idea was, okay, like, what do I do? How do I still continue to use these, gifts, talents, passions that God has given me around the ball? What do I do? And I just felt God saying, look, man, there's your phone, just use it, just post.
Yeah.
And so I started the SocccerDave Instagram page, and I was like, man, I should call myself SocccerDave. Like, that's got a ring to it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But so I went to look it up, and there was already a SocccerDave.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. That's why the
like,
triple
dude.
C?
So I was like, dude, no way.
Come on, SocccerDave with 2 C's.
It was already
Delete that
taken.
account. Let's make him delete that account. That needs to go to you.
So, but listen, it gets even better. It gets better. So I'm with my friend, and he's like, dude, just throw a 3rd C in there. And I was like, bro, that might be one of the dumbest things you've ever said. And he goes, nah. He goes, the 3rd C stands for Christ. He can be in the middle of what you do.
Oh,
And I was like,
shoot.
I was like, yo. So I am SocccerDave with 3 C's. The 3rd C stands for Christ, because he is in the middle of what I do.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Everything I do with a purpose. I do faith-based. I do pointing people to the gospel, pointing people to having an identity and a purpose in Christ and who God made you to be. And that's what keeps me going. That's that faith portion of that tripod that I was telling you about.
Faith, love, passion.
Is faith that it can blow up, faith that it can be of impact, but it's really just faith that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And faith in God that if I just keep following him and obeying him, he's the one that's going to make it blow up, not me. And even if he doesn't, that's not what I'm doing it for anyway.
Exactly.
So that's really that's what keeps me grounded. I love that it's a part of my name, because I can't, even on my worst days, I know who I am.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that God is there and in the middle of it. And so that's the 3rd C. I love telling that story.
That's
and
cool.
I love sharing my identity and the reason, why I do what I do. And that brings me to my shirt, my message, my merch that I have. Today I'm wearing one from Footballer Life, but which is made by Flight, which also makes my signature shirt. Shout out Flight.
Oh, that's awesome.
They do a ton of custom stuff. They make uniforms for big clubs. They can do things for small
I'm gonna
organizations.
link them up in the description below.
Yeah, dude. So Flight is on the come up right now. They're trying to really take over the scene. The unique thing about them is the customization, because anything catered to you. So if you have like a messaging or a what's it called, like something, an identity to your specific club or your specific entity, they can design it uniquely to put that across, right? So that you're not the same as everybody else. And so, but anyway, so my messaging is the shirt that I have that has stress, anxiety, fear, depression, all that crossed out.
That's your
and
merch.
Then on the back, it says live free, play free. So whether you want to use it for your sport as an athlete that you should play free of fear, free of anxiety, free of, of the depression side, when things don't work out the way you wanted, instead of just like, really taking all that on. We were meant to play free of all those things and to express ourselves on a field. Well, we spent a lot of this podcast talking about our own identity and finding ourselves. We were meant to live free of all those things. Ultimately, I believe that the ultimate freedom and the chain breaker of all those things in our life is Christ, and is our faith that in God and who God made us to be. And he made us to not be captive by those things that encapsulate us, to not being able to accomplish our full potential on and off the field. And so, because I believe that, it fits perfectly with the 3 C's. But that's the message kind of that I take with me everywhere that I go. And anytime I get a chance to speak, whether on a podcast or on a stage or in front of kids or parents, it's always that, right? Like, we have to figure out how to play free of all those things, to express ourselves on a field. But in doing so, I think you might find living free is more valuable. And we're really, truly going to be able to access our full potential on the field as we seek it and accomplish it off the field.
Yeah.
Until you do, you're just caught in two minds, and it's not a good way to live.
Yeah.
And so trying to seek those remedies, which again, ultimately, I think are found in God alone.
I love that.
I think that there's still certain practices and principles that people can live by that help.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. I'm going to make sure
that gets tied into mental health, physical health, like also, right? Like,
yeah,
ultimately, I think some people might take me wrong on this, but I think a lot of mental health is tied to spiritual health. I think the more in tune we are with our Creator, the more in tune we are with God and our identity in Him, it doesn't make life easy. It doesn't make our battles easy. I think it makes them easier.
Yeah.
So that's the message, man, that I take. I spin it a ton of different ways, but I think it's an important one for athletes and then humans in general.
Yeah, I'll make sure to plug that in as well in the description below so people can go and check it out. Flight as well. A big shout out to them. I'm gonna plug them in as well in the description. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned content, like, I think a good portion of the world, they've seen your content, especially that one video that I don't even know how many millions you've reached, with that absolute crazy touch while you're still looking up. Like, that was like a Matrix type of thing. You stopped time once you did that, and it felt organic as well.
Dude, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
You can tell that you guys were filming because you guys were just having fun.
We were just vibing, bro.
Yeah,
we were vibing. That was me and my boy Lupe. We were just vibing.
Your reaction, and his reaction, it's like, dude, that just happened, and we caught that on camera. Like, what the heck just happened here? Like, that, like, I watched that video, I think, I don't even know. Like, I showed my wife. Like, I watched so many times, and just to see the reaction, the way you trapped that ball while you're looking up, dude, that was great. And by the way, that feud, that's beautiful. That helps. Yeah.
The view helped. The zero gravity at the beginning helped.
Zero gravity.
And then the touch was crazy. Yeah. Did you see the remake of that video?
Yeah, you just posted. Yeah.
Dude, tell me how this is crazy. So we got together and I was like, dude, we should remake it. It's been 2 years. I was like, let's just remake it. And so we watched the video back once, and then we were like, okay.
The original.
So you watched zero gravity. Yeah, first is the zero gravity, then it's the chest stall. Then I give you the ball, you hit it up, and then I control it. I was like, all right, cool. Let's just go redo that. So we redo it, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me see what they would look like side by side. And all I did, because the first thing that happens in the video is the zero gravity, right? So all I did was match up the timing of the zero gravity. That's it. Everything else ended up matched up perfectly, including his ball in the air and the ball coming back down and hitting my foot. I was like, dude, I couldn't believe it. That's why I posted them side by side. I couldn't believe it.
No.
Like, Like, what are the odds? What are the odds? Like, maybe he hits it high, but a little bit shorter, or too high, and so one comes down before the other one. Perfect. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
No. That's for people that have not watched that video specifically. Go ahead, go SocccerDave on Instagram. It's on TikTok as well, right?
Yeah. It's on both.
And just check that one out and check out, all the content that he's been publishing. It's good stuff. It's that video specifically that's out of this world. Like, the reaction, how organic that was beautiful. It deserves the amount of views that it got.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So is there anything else you'd like to share that we haven't discussed?
Man, I'm just excited, bro. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for what God is doing currently, what I believe and have faith that he's going to continue to do. I'm making a lot of moves in terms of like partnering up with like Footballer Life. I'm hoping to go to Africa with them. They do a lot of work in Africa, highlighting different like villages and teams that are in villages, whether they're high school or in like the federation, in the promotional league, whatever, in whatever country they're in, Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria. So I'm hoping to schedule a couple of trips out there. Funding is going to be tough. I'm doing like some fundraising right now. So anybody that wants to support, like, please support. Not everything that I do is paid. Not everywhere I get invited to go speak or be on or perform is paid. But I want to do more of what God's called me to do. So, I mean, any way y'all can support financially, keep me in your prayers as well. My family, as I just keep going, dude. Like, I got a high motor. It's like next thing. Like, and so, so the people support means everything to me. Finding different ways to share what I'm doing, get people rallied around it, as well as monetize. I have to become better at monetizing some of the things that I do, so that I have the funds to do more. A lot of stuff takes money. I'm sure you know that also. Like doing the podcast, everything takes money, and I hate that it's that way, but I'm hoping more and more people believe in what I do and what I stand for, and want to see more. Like, do you want to see SocccerDave in Africa? Let's freaking go, right? Well, that takes support.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping to get that going. I've partnered with a fundraising company called Elevate, which gives people the opportunity to give either their spare change, so like it rounds up. So like if you have your card on file and you go buy a cup of coffee for $3.40, 60 cents round into the next dollar, 60 cents will go into the SocccerDave account if that's what you've chosen. Or you can be a monthly giver, monthly donor, and just set a certain amount every month that you want to give. And that's just going to help me continue to not blow up by any means, but continue to share and do what I do.
100%.
With more and more people around the world. And so I'm excited. I'm excited what God is doing. I'm excited to be on the train that I'm on, following where he leads. And we got the TST coming up. So I'll be playing in the TST $1 million tournament. That's FC. I'm going to be playing USL2 this summer with the team out in Houston that I played with 2-3 years ago. So yeah, man, just trying
a
to
lot
stay relevant,
happening,
trying to stay in front of people. I'm going to be a dude. Like, I think my teammate, the next oldest teammate, I think I'm 10 years older than him. So, and I keep telling everybody when I'm on the chats with them, I'm like, y'all better make sure I'm not more in shape than you guys. I did. If I come in and run a faster 2 mile, or come in and run 90 minutes more than you, we wear the little GPS vest. If I did more sprints, covered more ground, ran more, more than you guys, y'all better. I'm gonna let y'all hear it, bro. I'm gonna give y'all that veteran talk, bro. So, but no, man. I mean, that's pretty much like the same way I'm excited for life. I hope people can get excited for their life.
100%.
I hope people can develop that faith, love, and passion for something and go, and just go, knowing that you've been called to it. It's not just your idea. God gave you the tools and gifts for it. He's the one that's going to mark the way for you to go and be successful. If you stay behind him, then there's no challenge, no adversity greater for you to keep going, because he's leading the way. And so There's a song, "This is how I fight my battles," and basically the way I fight it is by letting him fight them. I can't win them all, but he can. And so that gives you that extra kind of strength. We all know the Bible verse, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Well, that's not for you to go. That's for you to go behind him first. He's the one giving you strength. So it's him fighting, right? And so you can endure all these things. A lot of people don't know when Paul wrote that, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Go back and read what's before and what's after that specific verse. Everybody quotes that one. The dude had been shipwrecked, bitten by snakes, almost stoned to death, escaped death multiple times, been imprisoned. And he's saying, basically what he's saying is, I can endure all that and I can keep going because it's not me. It's Christ in me. It's his strength. He gives me strength to keep going through all this crap, through all this adversity, through all these challenges, because I'm called to keep going. But it's not by my own strength.
Wow.
It's by the strength that he gives me. So that's the background on that verse that everybody needs to understand, because I think athletes quote it all the time. People quote it all the time. And it's to go get success, when in reality, it's to endure the failure or the challenges. And so that's what that's for. So if you're on a path you're supposed to be on, just keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so beautiful. That's beautiful. And going back to what you just said with, everything that's coming up, what's ahead of you, in terms of, it takes money to keep this going as well. That's why we need the support from people, sponsors, right? And you said something that's basically, it is aligned with us here, FC Game Changer, because all the profits that we make is to provide better content, right? It's to create more. It's to give more to the audience. And that's pretty much what you said as well. So we are super aligned on that. I'm going to make sure to also plug that link in here for people that want to start donating, because I do want to see, you going to Africa, you helping more people, you creating more content, better content. So I will do everything I can to help on my end for sure.
Thank you. That means a lot. So man, so life is exciting, bro.
Yeah, no, it's a lot going on. So we asked this question at the end of every podcast. Tell us a game changer moment in your life and why.
Okay. I didn't tell you this earlier. There was a weekend in my life when I was 25, 26. In the same weekend, I signed with Toronto FC in the MLS. I get hurt in the NPSL semifinal. That contract goes bye-bye within 2 days. And then my wife tells me we're pregnant with our first child.
Wow.
That spun me for 18 months into a lot of depression and anger, really, mainly anger towards God, because I felt that he told me I could do something. I went to go do it, and then he took it from me. That was the feeling that I had. Fast forward 18 months of being a terrible husband, while she's pregnant, and then not really knowing how to be a father, working like maybe 7-8 jobs, all different industries, because I couldn't hold a job, partying a little bit. Thank God I never got into drugs or other women. Praise God for that. But priorities all jacked up. No sense of purpose, no sense of kind of hope to accomplish anything, because I felt like that was stripped for what I worked towards my whole life. Driving down 635 here in Dallas in my old Honda Civic coupe, and I hear in the back seat, "David, what are you doing? Stop being selfish." There's nobody in the back seat.
Oh, wow.
And so I went from surprised. This is how crazy it is. I went from surprised and like, whoa, to mad, because I realized what was said. I was being called selfish. I felt everything was taken from me. How could I be selfish? when in reality, I was taking years out of what could be accomplished if I just got out of that mode. So what he ended up saying was, because I got mad, I was like, you took everything from me. At that point, I realized I was having a conversation with God. As crazy as that sounds, that's what was happening. And I was mad at him, and I said, you took everything from me. And he responded, everything I've given you, you still have. And you are still mine. In an instant, it was like my mind was opened and my eyes were open, and I was like, he's right. What am I doing? And it still took about 4 to 6 months to change some habits, get certain disciplines back in order, start communicating with my wife in an appropriate way, right? Like I still had to work on me. But I knew at that point that God wasn't done with me, that I didn't have to be done with life, and that there was still a lot to look forward to because I still had my gifts and talents.
Yeah.
That is the game changer moment in my life. And so
that's so impactful as well, like, and how much that flipped, you like your brain, your mindset kind of locked into something that wasn't beneficial for you, for your family, for your wife, for your daughter, right? To now, like you said, opened up everything.
I was in prison, bro. I was imprisoned by anger.
Yeah.
I was imprisoned by depression, and I was imprisoned by fear that I would never accomplish anything.
Yeah. But everything, like he said, everything was still there. Everything was there for you.
Was there.
No one took anything away from you.
This is what I say. It wasn't magic, right? I still had, once that realization happened,
right?
It's not like, oh, everything was better. No, dude, I still had to mend certain relationships,
dude,
that I had broken, and been a jerk about. I still had to start to say no to going out drinking. I still had to say no to hanging out with certain people. I still had, right? Like I still had to work. Like it wasn't like, boom, like all of a sudden I'm this whole new human. No, now I have this new mentality and new vision. I still have to go work on myself.
Dude, like this is full circle from the start to our conversation to right now, right? Going back to the beginning. Yeah, I'm not good yet.
Yeah.
Right? It's that full circle, right? Like,
exactly.
He talked to you, he opened up your mind, your eyes, your ears, everything, but you're not good yet. You needed to work on a lot of things in order to get yourself back on track. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. And again, right, we get to even tie it in even more. It's that work that he allowed me to go through. It's that work that I had to do that then gives me the confidence today to be who I am.
Yeah.
Right? If it just would have been a magic wand wave, well, I didn't go through what I had to go through to now be who I am. And so, I mean, I definitely had a huge assist from God himself, but I still had to score the goal.
Yeah,
right?
100%. SocccerDave, hey, beautiful. Love it. I'm grateful. I've learned so much from you with this conversation. We're definitely going to stay connected. And I really hope everyone, the audience, they're going to leave this conversation a different person, a better person, and now with a clear, like a more clear path for them to improve on themselves. And yeah, thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you for joining the podcast. I really appreciate you.
Dude, MC Game Changer, man. It means a lot, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, I just hope I hope the viewers and everybody is grateful that I came on and took something from it.
100%. Thank you so much.
Of course.